would you like to make me a co-host?
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. I have a question.
Go ahead.
2 classes ago, you had said how the magicians was it 2 classes ago? Yeah. About the magicians who knew that they would lose to Musa alayhi salam before he put his staff down. So how were they so shocked when they did lose the next day? Like how were they so shocked and then fell down in prostration when they knew before?
It was the faith that they believed, right, at that time. Because even when they start off with saying, we start in the name and honor of Fir'aun. And that's when they casted their staffs and their rope. But it's about after seeing it. See, one thing was that Musa alayhi salam was sleeping and the staff turned into a snake. And one thing is that being in the presence in front of everyone, seeing that snake devour the rest of the ropes and rest of the sticks, and experiencing that yourself in front of like 70 people, that's different than just seeing one staff turn into a snake. So even when they started off, they weren't believers, because they start off by saying, we cast this in the name of Fir'aun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. Jazakallahu khair.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're going to do Tafseer a little quickly so that we can start covering more ayats and verses. وَمَا أَعْجَلَكَ عَنْ قَوْمِكَ يَا مُوسَى. O Musa, what has caused you to run away or hurry from your people? قَالَ هُمْ أُولَٰئِ عَلَىٰ أَثَرِي وَعَجِلْتُ إِلَيْكَ رَبِّي لِتَرْضَىٰ. He says, Ya Allah, I came to you quickly so that you may be happy. قال فإنا قد فتنا قومك من بعدك وضلهم السامري. And we have tested your people after you, and somebody has misguided them. فرجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا. Musa alayhi salam goes back, he's angry, he's upset, he's heartbroken. قال يا قوم ألم يعدكم ربكم وعدا حسنا. Has your Allah not promised you a good promise? أفطال عليكم الأحد أم أردتم أن يحل عليكم غضب من ربكم فأخلفتم موعدي. He says, did the time become too long for you? Or do you want the anger of Allah to come down and you broke your promise? Meaning, don't do shirk. قالوا ما أخلفنا موعدك بملكنا ولكننا حملنا أوزارا من زينة القوم فقذفناها فكذلك ألقى السامري. So we didn't break our promises on our own. بملكنا, with our own power, with our own strength. This all happened in 40 days. And in one opinion, was that Musa alayhi salam said, I'll be back in 40 days. And they only counted 20 days and they considered it 40 days. And they had the gold and silver of Fir'aun and his family that they had picked up. Now, Samiri says to them, when Musa alayhi salam was gone, He said that the reason Musa alayhi salam is not coming, or that there is this withholding, is because of the gold that you have. So they gathered the gold together, gave it to Samiri, and he made a calf out of it. Then, as I mentioned yesterday, he took a clod of dirt from where Jibreel alayhi salam had stepped, because the horse that Jibreel alayhi salam was riding, it gave life to wherever it stepped. So when he mixed the dirt with it, that calf began to speak and communicate. And some say that he had just made a calf, and when the wind would blow through it, then it would make a sound, meaning that it didn't actually make a sound. وَلَكِنَّا حُمِلْنَا أَوْزَارًا مِنْ زِينَةِ الْقَوْمِ. But we were burdened with loads from the ornaments and gold of the people, meaning Fir'aun. فَقَذَفْنَاهَا. So we casted it and we threw them. فَكَذَلِكَ أَلْقَى السَّامِرِي. And in the same manner, Samiri casted the same. فَأَخْرَجَ لَهُمْ عِجْلًا جَسَدًا لَهُ خُوَارٌ. So he took out for them a calf, which was just a body, لَهُ خُوَارٌ. It had a low sound. فَقَالُوا هَذَا إِلَهُكُمْ وَإِلَهُ مُوسَى فَنَسِي. He said, this is your God and the God of Musa. فَنَسِيَ, he forgot. Meaning, either Samiri forgot his Islam, or Musa alayhi salam forgot his God, or Banu Israel forgot that they weren't supposed to worship calves. أَفَلَا يَرَوْنَ أَلَّا يَرْجِعُ إِلَيْهِمْ قَوْلًا وَلَا يَمْلِكُ لَهُمْ ضَرًّا وَلَا نَفْعًا. Do they not see that أَلَّا يَرْجِعُ إِلَيْهِمْ, that it does not respond to them with even a word, own any benefit or harm? وَلَقَدْ قَالَ لَهُمْ هَارُونُ مِنْ قَبْلُ يَا قَوْمِ إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ. And before, Harun alayhi salam said, يَا قَوْمِ إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ. You have been tested with this. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ فَاتَّبِعُونِي وَأَطِيعُوا أَمْرِي. Indeed, your Allah is Rahman, your Lord is Rahman, so follow me and obey me. قالوا لن نبرح عليه عاكفين حتى يرجع إلينا موسى. They said, we are not going to change in our devotion until we don't see Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. قال يا هارون ما منعك إذ رأيتهم ضلوا. Musa alayhi salam comes back and he says to Harun alayhi salam, what prevented you from following me when you saw them go astray? Muqatil says that on the 25th day, on the 35th day that Musa alayhi salam was gone, is when Samiri invited Banu Israel. And on the 36th, 37th and 38th day was when they melted and smelted the gold. And it was the 39th day that he invited them to worship the calf. And the 40th day, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam came back. أَلَّا تَتَّبِعَنِي أَفَعَصَيْتَ أَمْرِي. Did you then disobey my command, O Harun? He's the younger brother. Musa alayhi salam is the younger brother. قَالَ يَبَنَ He said, oh, the son of my mother. يَبَنَ Either because he was only a maternal, they were maternally related, or he just said it as a saying. And they were biological brothers from both parents and not just one parent. And that seems to be the more accurate perspective. قال يا ابن لا تأخذ بلحيتي ولا برأسي. Don't grab my beard and not my head. So one opinion is that he grabbed his hair with his right hand and his beard with his left hand. And one opinion is that they grabbed his ears, and they metaphorically said, grab my beard and my hair, because the ears connect the hair and the beard and the hair. Inni khashitu an taqul. I was worried you were going to say, فرقت بين بني إسرائيل ولم ترقب قولي, that you caused dissension amongst Banu Israel and you did not observe my advice. قال فما خطبك يا سامري. Musa alayhi salam says, Samiri, why did you do what you did? قال بصرت بما لم يبصروا به فقبضت قبضة من أثر الرسول فنبذتها وكذلك سولت لي نفسي. He says, that I saw what others did not see, and I grabbed a handful from under the footsteps of the messenger, meaning Jibreel alayhi salam. Then I casted it, threw it. وَكَذَلِكَ سَوَّلَتْ لِي نَفْسِي. And this is how my nafs beautified it and adorned it for me. Samiri's name was Musa bin Dhafar. And the reason he's called Samiri is because he's from the tribe of Samira, or from a town of Samira. And he says, I saw what you didn't see at the footsteps of the messenger, meaning when the sea was split and Jibreel alayhi salam came, that's when he saw it. The other opinion, which is like a very modernistic opinion, فَقَبَضْتُ قَبَضَةً, meaning I took the Sharia of Athar al-Rasul Musa alayhi salam, فَنَبَذَتُهَا, and I threw it away. And over here it's talking from a metaphorical stance, in the sense that the Rasul is Musa alayhi salam, and the thing he took was the Sharia, and then he tossed it aside. قال فاذهب فإن لك في الحياة أن تقول لا مساس وإن لك موعدا لن تخلفه. So he says to him, فاذهب, be gone from here. And he used to wander amongst animals and in the jungle, and no one would touch him. And he was socially boycotted. And some say he developed some disease. So leave from here for you in this dunya is that you will say, don't touch me. وَإِنَّ لَكَ مَوْعِدًا لَن تُخْلَفَهُ. And you have a promise that will not be broken to you. وَانظُرْ إِلَىٰ إِلَٰهِكَ الَّذِي ظَلْتَ عَلَيْهِ عَاكِفًا. And look at your Lord, which you stayed devoted to. عاكفة from like i'tikaf, devoted to. لنحرقنه ثم لننسفنه في اليم نسفا. He said, then we will certainly burn it and then we will scatter it into the sea. إنما إلهكم الله الذي لا إله إلا هو وسع كل شيء علما. Your Allah is only the one who there is no God but Him. وسع كل شيء علما. It has encompassed everything. His knowledge has encompassed everything. كذلك نقص عليك من أنباء ما قد سبق وَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ مِن لَدُنَّا ذِكْرًا. And this is how we narrate and relate some news and incidences to you that has preceded. وَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ مِن لَدُنَّا ذِكْرًا. And we have brought to you from us a reminder. مَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَحْمِلُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وِزْرًا. Whoever turns away from it, then they will be bearing a burden on the day of judgment. خالدين فيها وساء لهم يوم القيامة حملا. And they will be there forever, and how evil and terrible is what they will be bearing and holding the load on the day of judgment. يوم ينفخ في الصور ونحشر المجرمين يومئذ زرقا. And this trumpet will be blown, and the believers and the criminals will be raised on that day, zurqa, blue-eyed. They will have blue eyes. Either blue eyes means they will be blind, or so thirsty that their eyes became blue. Or their faces have been roasted by their eyes becoming blue and their faces dark. يَتَخَافَتُونَ بَيْنَهُمْ إِن لَّبِثْتُمْ إِلَّا عَشْرًا. And they'll be whispering to each other, we only stayed here for 10 days. We haven't stayed here longer than that, very few days. نَحْنُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا يَقُولُونَ إِذْ يَقُولُ أَمْثَلُهُمْ طَرِيقَةً إِن لَّبِثْتُمْ إِلَّا يَوْمًا. Allah says, we know better than what they are saying when they say, the best of them will say that you only stayed for a day. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْجِبَالِ فَقُلْ يَنْسِفُهَا رَبِّي نَسْفًا. They will ask you about the mountains. Tell them your Allah will يَنْسِفُهَا, crush them, blast them, destroy them on the day of judgment. Will turn them into dust. فَيَذَرُهَا قَاعًا صَفْصَفًا. Then he will turn everything into a leveled playing field. لَا تَرَى فِيهَا عِوَجًا وَلَا أَمْتًا. You will not see a single curve or uneven place on earth. It will just be flat. يومئذ يتبعون الداعي لا عوج له وخشعت الأصوات للرحمن فلا تسمع إلا همسا. On that day, they will follow the caller without any deviation. وخشعت الأصوات للرحمن فلا تسمع إلا همسا. The voices will become low, and you won't hear anything but some whispers in front of Rahman. يومئذ لا تنفع الشفاعة إلا من أذن له الرحمن ورضي له قولا. And on that day, no one's intercession will benefit, but the one that Rahman has given ijazah to, and he is happy or pleased with his words. يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون به علما. He knows what is in front of them and what is behind them, and they do not encompass his knowledge. وعنت الوجوه للحي القيوم وقد خاب من حمل ظلما. And the faces will be humbled in front of the ever-living and self-sustaining. And the losers will be the ones who bear the burden of oppression. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِنَ الصَّالِحَاتِ وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَلَا يَخَافُ ظُلْمًا وَلَا هَضْمًا. And whoever does good deeds and is a believer shall have no fear of any dhulm or oppression, or hadma, that his rewards will be curtailed. وَكَذَلِكَ أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا وَصَرَّفْنَا فِيهِ مِنَ الْوَعِيدِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ أَوْ يُحْدِثُ لَهُمْ ذِكْرًا. And this is how we reveal the Qur'an in Arabic, and we turn towards them, and we have explained to them in it our warnings, so that they may have taqwa, or it may produce a lesson for them. فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ الْمَلِكُ الْحَقِّ وَلَا تَعْجَلْ بِالْقُرْآنِ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يُقْضَى إِلَيْكَ وَحْيُهُ وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. And come, فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ, and Allah is the high King and the truth. وَلَا تَعْجَلْ, and don't hasten, بِالْقُرْآنِ, with the Qur'an, مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يُقْضَى, before it is completed towards you the revelation, and say, may Allah increase me in my knowledge, or in knowledge. وَلَقَدْ عَهِدْنَا إِلَىٰ آدَمَ مِن قَبْلُ فَنَسِيَ وَلَمْ نَجِدْ لَهُ عَزْمًا. And we made a promise and a direction to Adam, and he forgot, and we did not find in him on purpose. He didn't do it lahu azma, he didn't do it on purpose. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ أَبَى. When we said to the malaika, do sajda to Adam, they all did sajda besides Iblis. He denied. فَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ إِنَّ هَذَا عَدُوٌّ لَكَ وَلِزَوْجِكَ فَلَا يُخْرِجَنَّكُمَا مِنَ الْجَنَّةِ فَتَشْقَى. We said, Adam, this is an enemy for you and your wife. فَلَا يُخْرِجَنَّكُمَا مِنَ الْجَنَّةِ. Let him not expel you from Jannah. فَتَشْقَى. So you will become shaqi, unfortunate. إِنَّ لَكَ أَلَّا تَجُوعَ فِيهَا وَلَا تَعْرَى. In this Jannah you have that you won't ever get hungry and you won't ever be naked. وَأَنَّكَ لَا تَظْمَأُ فِيهَا وَلَا تَضَحَى. You won't be thirsty and you won't be exposed to sun. فَوَسْوَسَ إِلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانُ قَالَ. He whispered in their ears and he said, يَا آدَمُ هَلْ أَدُلُّكَ عَلَى شَجَرَةِ الْخُلْدِ وَمُلْكٍ لَا يَبْلَى. Shall I not tell you of a tree that you will live here for eternity, and of a kingdom and empire that will not decay, that will remain forever. فَأَكَلَا مِنْهَا فَبَدَتْ لَهُمَا سَوْآتُهُمَا وَطَفِقَا يَخْصِفَانِ عَلَيْهِمَا مِنْ وَرَقِ الْجَنَّةِ وَعَصَى آدَمُ رَبَّهُ فَغَوَى. They both ate, and their satar, and their private parts became exposed. They began grabbing tree leaves to cover themselves. And Adam disobeyed his Lord, and he erred. فَغَوَى, he lost sight of the track. ثُمَّ جَتَبَاهُ رَبُّهُ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ وَهَدَى. Then Allah chose him, and he accepted his repentance and gave him guidance. قَالَ اهْبِطَا مِنْهَا جَمِيعًا. Said, all of you get down from Jannah. بَعْضُكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ عَدُوٌ. Some will be enemies to the others. Some men to the other men, some women to the other women, some humans to jinns, some jinns to humans. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُمْ مِنِّي هُدًى فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا يَضِلُّ وَلَا يَشْقَى. If you get guidance from me, then whoever follows guidance from me won't be misguided and won't be unfortunate. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. Whoever turns away from my remembrance, they will have a strained life, a difficult life, and we will raise him on the day of judgment blind. قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَ حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتُ بَصِيرًا. Why am I blind when I used to see in my life? قال كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها وكذلك اليوم تنسى. They'll say, no, I gave you my signs and you disobeyed them and you forgot them, and today you will be forgotten. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجَزِي مَنْ أَسْرَفَ وَلَمْ يُؤْمِنْ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِ. In the same way, we recompensate those who exceed the limits and do not believe in the signs of their Lord. وَلَعَذَابُ الْآخِرَةِ أَشَدُّ وَأَبْقَى. And the adhab of the akhirah is more severe and lasts for a longer time. أَفَلَمْ يَهْدِ لَهُمْ كَمَا أَهْلَكْنَا قَبْلَهُمْ مِنَ الْقُرُونِ يَمْشُونَ فِي مَسَاكِنِهِمْ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي النُّهَى. أَفَلَمْ يَهْدِ لَهُمْ. Have we not, did it give them no guidance? How many nations we destroyed before, who used to walk in the same dwellings that they lived in. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي النُّهَى. These are signs for the intelligent. ولولا كلمة سبقت من ربك لكان لزاما وأجل مسمى. And had it not been a word or statement that had surpassed and come from your Allah, then the punishment would have been inevitable and fixed upon them. فاصبر على ما يقولون وسبح بحمد ربك قبل طلوع الشمس وقبل غروبها ومن آناء الليل فسبح وأطراف النهار لعلك ترضى. Allah says that have patience on what they say and praise Allah before the sun rises, Fajr, and قبل غروبها, Asr, ومن آناء الليل, and after hours, Maghrib and Isha, or Tahajjud. فسبح وأطراف النهار, أطراف النهار, the corners of the day, ظهر صلاة, لعلك ترضى. So that you may be pleased. وَلَا تَمُدَّنَّ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِّنْهُمْ زَهْرَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا لِنَفْتِنَهُمْ فِيهِ وَرِزْقُ رَبِّكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. Allah says, don't stretch your hands towards the things that we have given to some people, to to enjoy. And we made it a test for them. It is just worldly glamour, and the bounty of Allah is better and more lasting. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Command your family about salah and have patience upon it. لَا نَسْأَلُكَ رِزْقًا نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُكَ وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلتَّقْوَى. And command your family for prayer and have patience upon it. We don't ask you for rizq. We will sustain you, and the final end is for those who have taqwa. وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا يَأْتِينَا بِآيَةٍ مِّن رَبِّهِ أَوَلَمْ تَأْتِهِمْ بَيِّنَةُ مَا فِي الصُّحُفِ الْأُولَى. They say, why does he not bring us signs from his Allah? Were there not clear signs in the earlier scriptures? وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَكَنَاهُمْ بِعَذَابٍ مِّن قَبْلِهِ قَالُوا رَبَّنَا لَوْلَا أَرْسَلْتَ إِلَيْنَا رَسُولًا فَنَتَّبِعْ آيَاتِكَ مِن قَبْلِ أَن نَّذِلَّ وَنَخْزَىٰ. And had we destroyed them from before, they would have said, our Lord, why not send us a messenger? We would have followed his signs before you humiliated us and put us to disgrace. قُلْ كُلٌّ مُتَرَبِّصٌ فَتَرَبَّصُوا فَسَتَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ أَصْحَابُ الصِّرَاطِ السَّوِيِّ وَمَنِ اهْتَدَىٰ. Say everyone is waiting, so wait. You will know the people of the straight path and who followed the right guidance soon. صدق الله العظيم. Any questions? Have you guys done Surah Hajj? You're doing Surah Hajj right now, right?
Yes.
Right. And you've done Surah Mu'minun already, right? Mu'minun and Nur or no? Just Nur?
Yes, no.
No questions. Take inshallah.